Sand's a lot. I think a mulligan. Too many lands. Keep this one. Probably put back the second Force of Will. Sand's way better. There's occasionally good questions. I'd even say often good questions. I think I have been blessed with a good Twitch chat. Looking at Daze, Eldrazi Mimic. Oko and Ice-Fang are both probably very good in this matchup, although Ice-Fang may not Death Touch anytime soon. It's a good draw. Now this can be Death Touching next turn, but I will also probably just trade it for a Mimic if we can here. If they go like 2 mana land, Thought-Knot Seer, I'll maybe just hardcast Daze. Yeah, I think I like hard casting Daze so we can just play Oko next turn with Force of Will up. Yeah, GG's, Mr. Fister. It's cool to play against you and you know, see the deck I'll be playing for a few weeks from now in action. Dude, it's been so long since I've cast an Oko. It's been so long. It's been a lot too long. Oh, they have a sec. Do they have? Wow, what a crazy draw! Eye of Ugin into Seer into double Seer. Goodness. Would I consider Tails in a deck like this to get around Chalice? Maybe. Do we Elk the token? Guess so. It's a crazy start. Really lucky we were on the play. Guys, remember when that was just a modern deck. So let's bring in the back to basics. I think we want to cut the Force of Negations. Pretty concerned about Chalice. Can play the one Dismember. Stifle Dreadnought is pretty good against them. Chalice is going to be a huge problem. Maybe we need to keep the forces in. I feel like we can maybe trim some Astrolabes. Astrolabe is not as good in this deck as it is in other decks. Oh, I guess Astrolabe is a bit more important with the back to basics, potentially. Alright, let's do this. I feel like I'll cut the Dazes on the draw. But on the play, I want them. Yeah, so Scroll of Fate is good with both Phyrexian Dreadnought and Uro. So you basically have two ways to get your Dreadnought into play, and also both Stifle and Scroll are good with the Uro. Yeah, Dreadnought is going to be really hard for him to beat. I think it's our best draw by a decent bit. For those of you who don't know, Phyrexian Dreadnought is a 1-mana 12/12, so it's very similar to Death Shadow in that regard. But it has a small downside that says when it enters the battlefield, you have to sacrifice up to 12 points of power among creatures you control, or sacrifice the Dreadnought itself. And so you get around that downside by just stifling that trigger. Oh, cool. So we can also stifle the Uro trigger if we can hit runner land. Or I guess 2 out of the next 3 draws can just need to be land. My opponent kept turn 2 Eldrazi Mimic. Seems a bit loose. I'll pretend like I care by responding. Cool. We found the combo. I think I'll put back a Stifle and a Force of Will. Seems correct. Gonna get the basic forest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't beat this. I mean, they can, theoretically, right? It's also has trample. Cool. Quick game so far. Pretty nice after the 2-hour league. Sphere is also kind of interesting against them. Okay, on the draw, I don't want these Dazes. Should I be playing Sphere, actually? It's kind of slow on the draw. Doesn't stop Eye of Ugin either. It does stop Eldrazi Temple and Ancient Tombs. Probably not enough. Especially when they have like mana denial in their deck. We'll just bring in the 1 mana cantrips again. We also have Back to Basics, which is better. Yeah, like maybe you could play 1 Sphere on the draw. Opponent's Mold to 6. We don't have the combo, but I think we have a good hand. Like both Ice-Fang and Uro are probably good against them. We also have the Back to Basics. We have a Chalice. Okay, we can Alka Chalice, thankfully. There's Scroll of Fate, too. We can play Island Go. Hopefully we can draw something to get a basic forest, and so our Back to Basics won't tap our Tropical Island. But if I don't, I'm definitely just going to get a Trop and play Ice-Fang. Looks like they kept on the strength of turn 1 Chalice. Maybe they don't have a second land. Looks like they do. They're doing something. Okay, Wasteland. We can Back to Basics and tap the Wasteland if we want. Probably better to get Oko down first. No, never mind. Let's just Scroll of Fate. Yeah. I'm not blocking this. I guess I'll attack. This deck is always really cool, Lockhart. I'm glad to play it again. I don't know if I said that yet. Yeah, Back to Basics will take the Wasteland out of the equation, but which is relevant but more so because they're missing land drops. They have had a hard start with their City of Traders. It's more so to like mana deny them to stop them from wasting our Trop. I kind of want to get Oko down before I cast this Back to Basics. Although, you know what? This Back to Basics just wins the game, so I feel like if a card like effectively wins the game on the spot, you should probably just cast it. We can also just we can manifest the Ponders into 2/2s. Yeah. So they're not even dead because of the Chalice. Maybe I'll play this deck in the Sunday NRG series. It's pretty cool. It doesn't seem very good against some of the I remember this being pretty bad against the Yorion piles. Feels good to play Legacy again. I'm glad we get 2 Legacy leagues today. This hand's obviously a bit loose, but I'm gonna keep. Turn 1 Astrolabe. How can the hand be bad? And if we can just find a fetch land in the top 5 cards, this hand's good. Or good enough to keep, I should say. Am I going to stream that chess tourney? I didn't know that there was a chess tourney. I think I'm just going to play a land and pass. No, I'm going to Brainstorm. I know I wouldn't do this unless I had 3 in my hand, but I kind of want them to counter it. Yeah. Because me brainstorming without playing a land kind of makes me I'm pretty happy to trade Brainstorm for Spell Pierce here, you know? If I want to test it out more, the Lotus Bucks guys are running a cash tournament on Friday at 6, 20 buy-in, first place gets 100. I don't know. I don't think 8-man tournaments are very good testing because they just take a lot longer than the amount of matches of games you could play. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna play around Daze, but I'll just Brainstorm first. I'm not gonna play it to Daze, if I can't help it. And I like these cards. I'm gonna put back the Force of Negation and maybe the second Brainstorm because I'm about to shuffle. I feel like that tracks. Yeah, I think this is fine. You actually plan on playing this in NRG? I think it's pretty cool, Lockhart. I might as well. We'll see. I think I will stifle a fetch land here if they play 1 post combat. They just have 2 wastelands, and now if they have a force, we just get a 2-for-1 here. I think I go for Scroll of Fate over Oko. Or maybe like Oko is actually the bait spell here. But they might not counter Scroll of Fate. I'm gonna play the Oko. Oh, Scroll of Fate is also better if they get a... like Oko is worse if they put a threat into play. Where Oko is like... is better this turn than next turn, while Scroll of Fate is about the same next turn. Not that Oko is like much worse in that scenario, of course. They play a fetch land. I guess we still Stifle, but Daze is awkward. Their draw is very bad. We can Stifle the Astrolabe draw card. I think this is good. Because they have 3 cards, they have to have a force to stop the Scroll of Fate, and so if we just get like... if we 2-for-1 last turn and 2-for-1 this next turn if they have another force, taking this 1-for-1 where the Stifle may not get to 1-for-1 going forward, I think is solid. And looks like they very clearly have a Daze here. Now, I'm also like pretty happy, I think, if they Daze this. They choose not to. They have a Preordain. I've never Dazed that trigger before. It's kind of interesting. They pitch Stifle. Oh, cool. They can't double Daze, so we don't need to play this. I'm going to hold it for the Brainstorm. Yeah, they forced pitching the Daze that we expected. They're down to just 1 card in their hand, though. So, got 2-for-1, 2-for-1, and so I think the Stifle ended up being pretty good. Well, I guess we could have held the Stifle for the Dreadnought, maybe. They have an Arcanist, which is pretty good, of course. Only 1 card, though. So we get to Stifle a Dreadnought. Although... we're also, Brainstorm locked. I think I'll still get the Brainstorm back on top. They can't beat Dreadnought without Ura. I think you're right. Do I play around them having a Daze as exactly their last card? I don't think that they have it, and I don't want them to draw 1. My top 2 cards are both Island, which is not very good. Love to find an Uro. There's no way they can kill the Dreadnought in combat, right? Like, or at least there's not really anything reasonable that they usually play to do so. So I'm not gonna double block. But if we like expected they had Swords to Plowshares or Decay, I would double block probably. Their own Ice-Fang. Well, not like anything that blows out. Just blocking Dreadnought here because we really want to kill this Arcanist. But they could Oko my Dreadnought. They Oko the Dreadnought. The Oko also only goes to 1 loyalty. Looks like they did find an Oko. Gross. The Oko card seems like it's got some legs. Alright, so I am... oh, they also Wasteland my Sanctuary? Fine. Gross. I guess we get to shuffle away the islands. We don't have the Force up either, though. I guess I want to shuffle before they can Stifle my shuffle. Swingy game. Oko is so absurd. They have no cards in their hand. We need a top deck. Guess we lose. Yeah, Dreadnought's pretty bad in the Oko world for sure. Am I bringing it back to basics? Probably am. They pay 8 life, wow. $104.38, baby. Do we slide out our Okos so we could needle theirs? Kind of seems reasonable. Like, their Okos are way better than ours. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to not have Oko, like, Forcible instead of Oko. Though Daze is actually kind of good on the play. Yeah, this looks pretty good to me on the play. Oh, sorry, I don't want these Force of Negation. Yeah, Dismember, yes, is good too. I agree. Maybe the Charm is fine. This kind of looks good to me. Yeah, Tails End does counter Oko. I don't think it would be crazy to play a Tails End. Probably just one. What happens if you Alka Manifest? I have no idea, and I hope I don't find out. I have no idea how that works. So weird. This was like probably too complicated an ability like to put on a card, honestly. I think it's usually bad. Like they almost never did this. Have a card permanently change a creature into something else instead of like exiling it and making a token or destroying it and making a token. Like that is just way easier to keep up with in paper. I'm gonna keep this. Probably Daze a Delver. Not gonna Daze a Ponder. Obviously, we need to draw land at the top two. Yeah, super hot take. Oko too good. Guess we use Astrolabe before we fetch, but we're gonna fetch before they can stifle our fetch, of course. It's not Delver, it's Pokepile. Yeah, I'm not as in tune with the format as maybe I could be. Like, I don't know what the words Pokepile mean. I used to be pretty in tune with Legacy. So we can try to stifle our Dreadnought with Daze up, but it's probably not going to be good enough. It's like Teamer Snowco with Stifle, interesting. Maybe we just cast this Uro. And we get to draw Stifle, which is, we can Stifle the Uro trigger. This is good. Just trade one for one with the Stifle right now, it seems fine. If they have Oko and, like, Daze, it's pretty bad. I think I want to try to resolve back to basics more than anything else here. They Surgical Uro. Well, that's pretty good. We also just drew Uro for turn. Barf. Maybe we Scroll of Fate instead. Is Scroll of Fate better? Scroll of Fate is maybe better. Scroll of Fate. We do have a Mystic Sanctuary that, like, the Scroll of Fate. Yeah, I think we should play the back to basics. Although it can get pyroblasted, like when it's in play. This can't. It's kind of a big deal. What if we daze that? They might fetch a non-basic. Never daze this, I think. Because, like, you know, this, you know, Daze can protect back to basics from a 1-mana counterspell here. Seems way better to me. Alright, what we just resolved. And Daze is also better if we resolve back to basics. Oh, yeah, sorry. This was obviously bad. That was just a mistake to tap this. I don't know why I was thinking I'd just bounce it with Daze. So it didn't matter, but obviously that doesn't make any sense. Now they can Daze or Scroll of Fate. They only pay 4 life. I think the back to basics are good in this deck. Well, I'm going to cast the Scroll of Fate. This is so bad if they have Daze. We could have just easily played around it. But they don't have it, which is good. Now if they fetch, they're just getting smacked for 12. Maybe we should even be playing 3 back to basics and have it be the game plan for these 3-color mid-range decks. Is the stream crashing? I think that it's stuttered for a second. This has been happening a little bit recently. Yeah, it's been doing that a couple times where it just like lags for a second and it doesn't actually crash. They're just dead because they paid life to the library. Gross. Guess it's good we drew the Veil of Summer. Yeesh. Daze is worse on the draw, for sure. Is it crazy to play Force on the draw? Kind of don't hate the first Force of Negation. You know, my plan with these needles is to needle Oko, but maybe we still play Oko. So the reason I cut Okos is because their Okos are way better than ours. And we want to needle theirs. Maybe we just still play 2 needles, 2 Okos, and have it be fine. I think I like this plan on the draw. Let me keep this, I guess. Although having both Trops is awkward with the back to basics plan. Not that we have back to basics in our hand. I think we still keep. Maybe try to brainstorm these away. I think I'm happy if they go land Wasteland. If they just Wasteland my Trop and pass. But I think because of the back to basics argument, I'm not gonna try to bait a Wasteland. I think Daze is still fun to draw in any number. It's fine. It's just like, you know, there's a difference between fine and optimal, of course. But I agree that it's not like horrible to have Daze on the draw, where some people certainly act like that is the case. It is way better on the play, in my opinion. And in most people's. We probably force this. I'm going to force pitching Stifle. See if they have Daze. I think Arset's fine, but I also think it's fine, but it's also like worth forcing at the same time. I know that maybe that logic doesn't track, but okay. So I want to dismember this with Veil up, I think. So I really hope they don't let me untap before they Wasteland. They're going to upkeep Wasteland. I feel like they should have just main phased it if they're going to do this. Pretty happy that they did this, like this. I think a lot of people are conditioned to like upkeep Wasteland for some reason. I mean, there are reasons. Yeah, not too afraid of an Oko here, which is nice because we have the needle. Brainstorm's not too bad either. Surgical would be bad. We saw that they had surgical last game. Oh, playing around Stifle. Yeah. Cool. We have the needle for Oko, which is great, and Veil to protect it. Maybe we brainstorm first. Maybe this wasn't good. Definitely don't want the Uro in my hand because of Veil, or so because of surgical. I kind of want to stifle the Uro trigger next turn. I guess we'd have to Ice-Fang to do that. I'm gonna target Brainstorm and say no to the Brainstorm. Loco, Thief of Crowns. Yeah, Stifle is the worst Tails in. Can't even Stifle on Oko cast. Yeah, they're joking, King, because we play a lot of Tails in here. Maybe we could Stifle the Vista. It's probably not that relevant to Stifle Vista, but we could Stifle the Uro trigger. Bummer. So it begins. I guess I'll trade Ice-Fang for Elk. Offer the trade. I can Stifle the Octo activation. Yeah, but it's not like super good to do. Maybe I was supposed to. I mean, I can't really. The fact that they have Daze stinks, but I can't really Ice-Fang and Veil because I only have the one green. And I only have the one green, so pass. Dude, Oko's so freaking good. I'll Stifle at Narset activation. We're drawing an Uro. We're drawing an Uro. Oh my god, we're dead. We're dead. Dead. Yeah. Stinks. That deck looked pretty good. Kind of feels like Oko and Uro in some ways keep each other in check, but at the same time, you also just play them in the same deck. I'm gonna keep this. Bring its Dredge, probably. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'm a Zoomer now. I used to be a Legacy Boomer, and now I just don't know. Maybe I am a Legacy Boomer, and I just don't know what City of Brass Inquisition is. Usually City of Brass is Dredge. You feel like it's safe to unban Oko in Modern? No thanks. Hard pass, I think. Oh, Rainbow Depths. Yeah, why did Rainbow... Why I've heard that the Dark Depths deck are playing all these 5-color lands. I don't really know why. I haven't actually looked at a list. I just heard that that's the case, you know? I guess I would probably Daze this, and I think it's fine to Brainstorm in response when you want to counterspell something like this. Okay, I think I'm gonna put back Uro Sanctuary. Try to shuffle away the Sanctuary. They could have another Spirit Guide, I guess. If they have another Spirit Guide, do we force? You get access to blue cards. Interesting. It's cool. It's a cool list. It's a cool idea. This is fine. If they name... Do I get a basic? I don't think I get a basic. Yeah, I don't really mind if they Wasteland me, I think. I don't even think they play Wasteland, but obviously I don't know exactly what their list looks like. I could probably take some time to find out. But if they name Oko, we just pitch the Oko to this Force. Fluster, Stifle, Play Around, Submerge. Interesting. Submerge is actually pretty... I like that. That Wasteland is not in our deck. But I guess that makes sense for them to name it, right? They play one Wasteland as a, like, 2 to target. Stifle's an interesting draw. Does Stifle stop the combo? No, it just triggers again. I'm gonna maybe Brainstorm, hope to find a fetch land. I think this is fine. Even if we miss, like we still have a functional hand. Just not the end of the world if we miss. I think we can put back 2 lands too. I might draw a land and not shuffle. And shuffle away the other one, but I'll leave myself the option. Yeah, Stifle the Hexmage, that's true, but that's and you can like tap the Thespian stage, I guess, effectively. Negator 77 has a trophy lead with the deck. That's cool. Deck seems interesting. I like it. If someone wants to like dig up the list for me, I'll take a look. I think I follow Negator77 on Twitter. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Yeah, let's draw the land so we can stifle our Uro trigger. Seems good. And then we get to be above 20 life too, so they don't kill us in one swing. Well, if you stifle the Dark Depths trigger, it just triggers again, I believe. It's a link to a Google spreadsheet? What? Spreadsheet deck list. I see the difference between Rainbow and Turbo. Dude, Legacy players are so fucking hardcore. It's awesome. I used to be like them with my Ant deck. Not of the World in the main deck's pretty cool. I remember when like this combo first came out, whenever they changed the rules so Thespian Stage worked with Dark Depths, I think, or maybe Thespian Stage just got printed. I can't remember. I think it was just Thespian Stage got printed. That Not of the World was in the very first versions of the Dark Depths combo. It's pretty cool. Main deck Stifle is weird. I guess I like that it counters Wasteland. Only one Reclaimer is also strange. You want these back to basics, want the needles. So they play Flusterstorm. Wait, they don't play Veil of Summer? How did they not play Veil of Summer? I guess that makes some sense. Just weird to me, I guess. It's cool that this is a $700 Legacy deck. I like that. Veil subs Flusterstorm. Oh, Charm. Obviously bring in Charm. I don't think I want the Forces. Daze is also kind of awkward on the draw. Ice-Fang is kind of nice to just like get into play, block the Dark Depths, and then Elk the Depths. Probably want to keep those. I would love to like just be into Legacy again. It's just really hard to be super into two formats at once, at least for me. Because the way my personality is, when I'm obsessed with something, it's just all I think about. And I've just been obsessed with Modern for like a year now. When do we get an Ant League? No, I don't think you want Sphere. I mean, I might just play Ants for fun one day, but I don't know. You know, my stream is like more so about innovating and trying to like, you know, find good tech and brew in Modern more so than it is just playing decks I like. You know, Croaky's like a few weeks ago tweeted out that, you know, Magic content is lazy. I've been thinking a lot about that, and I agree to some extent that, you know, a lot of Magic streams are just, I'm going to play the deck I like, you know. I think he tweeted out that it was boring and lazy. And for those of you who don't know, Croaky's is the #1 MTG streamer. And, he, you know, a lot of streams are just, I'm going to play a deck I like, and I'm going to, you know, just kind of pick it up. I'm going to play test on stream. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think part of the reason why I've succeeded is because I play test off stream. I'm trying to always innovate and find interesting things. And, like, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think I've been successful because I put more effort into the stream than other people do. TSP Jindrik, thank you for the raid. There's someone else who puts a lot of effort into their stream. Definitely recommend checking out TSP Jindrik. And so I just want to make a conscious effort to... I want a conscious effort to put a lot of effort into the quality of the stream. Gemstone mines are looking a little dicey here. Who is Croaky's? Croaky's is the #1 MTG streamer, honestly, by a lot. Streams like exclusively Arena. And, you know, tweeted out a couple weeks ago that Magic content is boring to watch and lazy, which is very just hearing that from the #1 MTG streamer has had me thinking a lot about that statement lately. I'm not saying I disagree. I just have been trying to like wrap my brain around why he'd say something like that, and I think I understand. Or at least I've like interpreted it in a way that makes sense to me, which is maybe not accurate. So they get Urborg so their minds don't get sacked. Yeah, Krogi streams so much for sure, more than I do. And I also stream more than most streamers, MTG streamers. Was my OMG a Lightning Helix? Yeah, I guess that's certainly like where I think I am the most lazy in the stream when it comes to production quality. When it comes to like the layout, it's just super bare bones. And I put a lot of effort into like the decks and the content itself, but not actually the production value, which is something I probably should change. Yeah, I'm not saying that you should read super into that statement, but I do think that there is some wisdom there, you know? If you're in this oh boy, what a draw. If you're in this content creation game, like which I am, if this is something you want to do as a career, which I do, you know, you should try to do a good job, which I am trying to do. We can put back a land. I kind of just gonna put back the Uro and then have the ability to either charm or back to basics, but either way ponder. I guess we don't have to shuffle away the Uro, but I'll leave myself the option to do so. Because we can tap Misty for black and filter it into the Astrolabe to cast the Ice-Fang no matter what. Yeah, I don't like a super flashy overlay. It's just very much not my style. But I certainly don't mind anybody who does like one. I don't think I need this Uro. Do they play crop rotation? I can't remember. I know we just looked at the list. I'm gonna shuffle these. And we can afford to play the back to basics here, because if they are able to like dark that, or if they are able to crop rotation into Thespian stage, we just chump block and then steal their guy. Yeah, I agree with you on Ban Faithless Looting. Substance is more important than aesthetic, but aesthetic is also like if you're trying to make as good a stream as possible, aesthetics do matter. Honestly, something I really have been meaning to do and just keep not is I want playmats here. It bothers me that this part of the wall is not playmatted. I think it would be good to do so. Get those matted up. Ah, Sinjeri Step! Oh my gosh! Oh my, jeez. Fuck. That's cool. Yeah. Well, good game. Kind of want Daze on the play. Maybe we can trim an Uro. Can maybe trim the 4th Force if we're bringing in Daze. Trim a Ponder. Sorry for yelling, I guess. But I wasn't really sorry. No, maybe cut the 3rd Oko, actually. Seems fine. I know Oko's good against them, but only if you can stop a hit. So it's like kind of bad to draw 2, maybe. Yeah, we got stepped in Modern the other day. That was a legit Hob. No, dude, I've been watching so much Happy Hob. Hob has also been someone I've been looking up to a lot lately, where the Happy Hob is a no-hit run streamer. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is going to be the world's first X or Y run. And he talks a lot about how that doesn't matter. He's not competing against anybody else. He's not competing against any other streamer. He's just competing against himself. And that's the attitude I want to have. I'm just trying to compete against myself and not get lost in the noise of competing against other players and streamers, you know? Kotix and PG, hope you're having a good day today. Appreciate ya. Thank you. I think that's a good attitude to have. Yeah, I know Hub has been having a tough time. I mean, he was running really hot. I was watching live for like his last 5 successful runs. He got 4 runs in 2 weeks. I think it's okay that he's having a bad couple of days. If you had a blue creature and a green creature, how would step work? You could only give protection from one color, and so you could block with whichever creature they didn't choose to give protection from. Maybe we're supposed to daze that, because once they know about the daze, it gets a lot worse. Our hand is way worse if they know about all the cards. Seems fine to not daze, though. You want an MTG equivalent of a Dr. Disrespect? I mean, yeah, people keep talking about, I want a heal. I want an MTG heal. I honestly never really get the appeal of a heal. Dr. Tree 7 months in a row. I hope your holidays are filled with joy, too. I don't know. I just, it's not really my kind of thing. They probably just named Misty, huh? I think we still don't force it. They named Oko, cool. And we drew the best possible, also cool. These are good draws as well. Let me put back 2 lands. I don't understand why people hate Magic Aids. Like, I feel like he's just got a pretty obvious shtick. I don't know, maybe he has like some dark past I don't know about, but I think he's just got like edgy humor, you know? I don't know. I don't think a community needs somebody to hate. Yeah, I mean, he definitely makes jokes that don't land a lot of the times, but I don't think that's like a reason to hate him, right? I don't know. Yeah, he's a good brewer. I don't know. I'm not trying to jump into the middle of it. I'm not trying to simp for Magic Aids. I think we forced this. I think this is worth it. Yeah, I agree that he's not that funny. He's not, he tells some jokes that land, but I'd say for the most part I don't really enjoy his content. Or like his jokes, but I think his decks are often good. Not always good, but often good. Oh no, I said the word. I mean, all right. I didn't know if I was going to talk about this today, but it's my impression that it's only against TOS if you are targeting somebody's sexuality with the S word and the V word. Right? I don't know. I don't really care enough. There's no way I get banned for that. Okay. So this stops a lot of our outs here. Maybe we weren't supposed to slam this back to basics. Yeah, because now we can't even draw the charm. So we need to draw another Ice-Fang, I suppose. Tough stuff. Maybe one card down. Close match. Last 2 losses have both been pretty close. Yeah, of course everybody in here sims for me, which Twitch is not an insult, is a compliment. And I didn't watch the town hall. I didn't really. I guess we're just gonna try to turn 2 Dreadnought and hope it's good in the matchup with Daze up. I didn't really pay too much attention to it yesterday. I just saw everybody on Twitter freaking out, as they like to do. Yeah, like most things in life, probably could just be settled by people not being rude. I think I just do basic here. I mean, we're pretty in on this knot, which is cool. I like that this is what we're doing this game. And I'm really happy with the Twitch as a platform, and I'm proud to be a Twitch partner, honestly. They definitely make a lot of mistakes, but we can criticize them when that happens. But for the most part, Twitch is like by far the best streaming platform. But also in some ways, as a Magic the Gathering streamer, it feels, oh my gosh, at least we're at 30 life. In some ways, it feels like the Magic community is, I feel more a part of the Magic community than I feel a part of the Twitch community. And I don't think that that's like a hot take, but that is how I feel. I feel more so like I'm a member of the Magic community that's on Twitch than I feel like I'm a Twitch partner who plays Magic. We were super dead this game. Mold of 5, get your Dreadnought plowed, and you can't protect it. I guess I'm going to stifle this. Maybe we should just concede. I'll take a couple more draw steps. Like, Oko could just win this game if we rip it. Yeah, you know, Magic is already its own community of people who know each other, and it really is, in my experience, seems like people in Magic just kind of feels like a different thing. I don't know. Next Thursday is Christmas Eve. Am I still planning on doing Dono Day that day? Yes, at the time of making this comment. Esther has not told me that I have to do anything on Christmas Eve, so planning on streaming. I'm going to take Christmas off. I honestly hate taking 2 days off in a row. I really hate it. And I hope I don't have to. I talk about this every now and then, but it feels like as a Twitch streamer, it's really hard to take days off. Because just like so much of this is about building momentum, and so much of it about is just keeping things going. So taking more than, you know, a day off a week for a weekend, or like anything beyond that, 2 days in a row, you know, even like that 3 days I had to take off for the PT felt really bad to me. It's just really hard to take days off, and it's also really hard to have off days. If you're having a bad day and you come into the stream, you gotta try to push it out. I'm gonna take a draw step on my turn, but we'll probably go to the next game soon. Okay, the second field is good enough for me. Alright, so bringing these back to basics. These have been really good all day today. Needle's good against Reclaimer. Well, I probably want to play a Dismember too. Did I know that Rug Teamer Snowco deck I played earlier? It's named after Pokimoku in my chat. Well, that's cool. Hello, Pokimoki. I did hear it was called Pokepile. Now, I used to be super into Legacy, of course, and I played Legacy at the PT. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm just an ant boomer in what appears to be a very new Legacy format that I'm stumbling my way through a Dono deck with right now. I used to play nothing but Legacy when I, like 2014, 2015... and then a lot of Legacy in 2016, but I was kind of like getting back into other formats then. Keep this. That's pretty good. Pond hockey sounds fun. Yeah, everybody's a Doomsday gamer now, but I like Ant. Ant is my favorite deck in Magic, you know? Ant is just my favorite deck to play in Magic the Gathering, and I'm still going to play it if I want to. And every time I do, we got the Test fanboys, the Doomsday fanboys, who are telling me that their decks are better. And I know that they're better. I just want to play my deck. Okay, damn it. What's a good time and place for me to critique my modern deck? Whenever, really. I usually do it in between matches. I'm not too worried about pausing for a couple minutes to do a deck tech. Yeah, I also enjoy Storm and Vintage whenever I have played Vintage, which is not very often. I think we Elk the Reclaimer. What about Ant is so enjoyable? It's a combination of like puzzle solving and nostalgia. Like, I enjoy any deck where I get to make a lot of decisions, and you get to make a ton of decisions when you play Ant. But it's also, I don't think if I picked up Ant for the first time right now, it would be my favorite deck. In fact, I can just tell you it wouldn't be. But a huge part of it is the amount of nostalgia I have for the deck, and I've played this deck at a lot of tournaments, and I've made friends while playing it, and I just love it, man. I just love that it's got a lot of nostalgia for me. You brainstorm here. Guess we just elk the Dryad, huh? I think I'm gonna keep the Stifles up. Did I watch Cyrus's run at Eternal Weekend a few years ago? No, I was doing something, but I watched bits and pieces of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm not gonna stifle this. Poggers. Maybe I was supposed to stifle the Dreadnought, and so I could hold up another Stifle. I guess we just like let Oko take 3 so we can stifle a fetch land. Is that even relevant? Not that relevant. It's pretty bad if they have a Titan in their hand and we don't stifle this Windswept Heath. Yeah, I think it's bad enough that I'm gonna hold it up. We still get to attack them for 12 next turn. Oh, they also, sorry, they just get to cast it by tapping it because it's of the. Oh, the Dryad's not in play. Wait. Hold on. This is an Elk, but this is still, they still get to tap them for any color. Is that right? How does that work? Layers. Everybody always says layers, but nobody ever understands what layers are. I think that is how it's still like it were in play. Everyone knows that layers are something, but they don't know what layers actually do. They always just say, I don't know how it works, but layers. Yeah. Feels awful. Yeah, it reminds me of the new Rumi video, which was great, by the way, as always. Supposed to let the Flagstone trigger resolve first, I suppose. Okay, no, I think because we have Stifle, we don't need to Elk the Reclaimer. I want to keep this Elko loyalty high. We'd also maybe steal the Reclaimer. Pretty happy to make this trade. Yeah, Stifling Reclaimer is like maybe as good as it's going to get this game. Can also Needle Reclaimer now. I think they get one zombie, Fran. I don't think it's that big a deal. Can maybe turn this into a manifest. I think we get in because it's just a 1-2 right now. I want to be facing 3 zombies, right? Because I get to stifle the Reclaimer activation. Maybe I'm wrong. Needle fetch, you can stifle the Reclaimer. Well, they just sack the fetch land if we do that. Uro or Dreadnought would be nice. Okay, gonna turn this into a manifest. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. Thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Lots of new subscribers today. All the Legacy fanboys, maybe. I don't think I'm going to manifest right now. Cool. Cool. Don't really have any attacks. Maybe I'm supposed to just make a food. I think I want to get another 3/3 in play though. And so we get to manifest the Uro and then flip it, of course. Could have maybe made some attacks there. No, they just have to. I guess we can actually attack with an Elk if they block with the 3/4 Reclaimer. We get to Elk it post combat and it dies. So we'll probably just go to combat here. We also swap the control of Needle for Elvish Reclaimer, or our opponent could concede early. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. I have a very limited amount of brain power, and we've got 2 more dono decks after this one to get through. Gonna be a long stream today. No, Uro's sacrifice ability is tied to its enter the battlefield, and if you manifest it, it's already entered the battlefield. I went 3-2 in Bant's Rack, kind of punted, won a match. The deck felt pretty solid, and we are 1-2 in this one. But our 2 losses are really close, and we're having a good time playing some Legacy. This hand could be anything. Even a Noco. I kind of like all of these. Let's draw like this. I like having access to all these, I should say. Yeah, I think we just dismember that. You can no longer escape Uro after alching Astrolabe. Sure. Probably would be better to not do that, I guess. Should be able to get to Oko on a clear board. I'm going to play around a second Thalia by waiting until end step to do this. Fran, what do you think our opponent should have done here to not miss a land drop? What do you think they should have maybe done differently about their deck construction? Ah, gross. That feels so bad. What are the other decks? We have Legacy, Heliod combo, and then a really, really spicy Spell Shift combo deck. Guess I should have played around the Veil. Can make a food. Still in fun shape. Have an Oko in play. That's how it works. If we had forced the Thalia, we'd be in much better shape, I guess. But I'm still struggling to hit lands. Let's cantrip with Ice-Fang. Can maybe Mystic Sanctuary back Brainstorm. We don't need to Elk anything. Yeah, we just have good blocks like this. Fran, how can you be in my chat rooting for your favorite deck? Now we can Stifle Skyclave. And we also have a backup Oko. So ha. They're gonna kill my food. Huh. Can stifle this. Okay, that's fine. Do I want to get back Dismember maybe? Could just take a draw step. Is this not? Oh yeah, it's not an artifact anymore. You're right. Chat is so smart. Dismember seems okay, but mostly like if I'm just main phasing it to play around another Veil. I'll just take a draw step. Cool. It's better than anything I could have sanctuaried. Maybe we can set up an exchange next turn of something for something, food for something. Could steal the Dryad so we can stifle the Heath. They have 5 spells in their hand. It's pretty fine. less fine. I mean, Oko just still has too much loyalty, right? Yeah, let's get back to Dismember and Dismember the Dryad. Let Oko continue to win the game passively. Yeah, some people want Oko to be banned, from my understanding. I used to be very into Legacy, of course. Haven't been nearly as into it since I've become a primarily modern E-boy, but I do know that there are some people who think that Oko should be banned. I'm not saying that that's unreasonable. I think my opponent has a second Thalia in their hand too. Kind of feels like they do. Oko is also in a lot of games better in low resource. Like Legacy is really good at trading resources, and Oko just often wins the game by itself, right? And so like when you can just trade resources super aggressively and play the best 3-mana threat ever printed, in some ways Oko is better in Legacy. If Oko couldn't target the opponent's creatures, it would actually be so much more reasonable, but still pretty good, I think. We have an Oko control hand here. Yeah, the Oko burn deck was pretty cool. Can't deny. Daze for days. Snow-covered island go. Could be goblins, could be Maverick, could be Death and Taxes, could be Reanimator. Could be a lot of different decks. I'll let this go. Could be lands. Could be elves. Could be Oko control. Yeah, you haven't played against blue goblins, Open Manuel? I don't play a lot of Legacy, and even I know about blue goblins. I'm gonna put back I think I'm gonna put back a Force of Negation. Against Mystic Sanctuary, I don't think I'm supposed to be like that afraid of Wastelands. I'll just get a Trop. Maybe I am supposed to be afraid of it, but if I am, I don't know I am, right? Oko will be good in 8-rack. Yeah, Oko will be good at Magic the Gathering decks that aren't fast combo. I will play this Ice-Fang. I think there's an argument to just like letting my opponent discard. This could like let them not do that. I mean, if this is Black-Red Reanimator like I suggested. Dude, can you imagine if we fought over that Brainstorm also? Like we just win on the spot. I'm gonna play, I guess, Scroll of Fate. And a Force of Will, looks like. Force pitching Daze Undoing. I kind of want to force back. I think we're just so ahead that I'm just gonna take the 2-for-1. You have another 3-drop threat in Oko. Swords to Plowshares does mean this is less likely to be lands or goblins or Reanimator or elves, but still could be. Did they miss their land after pondering too? Gross. I don't think we're supposed to force the ponder. It honestly felt like a consideration. Yeah, I know it's miracles. I'm joking. I don't know if that was clear. It's miracles. Probably wasn't clear if I had to dryly explain it, huh? I might double Daze another force. Yeah, very clearly I don't believe that this is red-black Reanimator, right? Maybe also not very clearly. They also pitch Daze Undoing, so this is probably some, not actual miracles maybe, some Narset control deck. Fair enough. Mountain Pyroblast is kind of funny to have happen when I'm doing a bit about this deck being red. They're down to just 3 cards in their hand. Yeah, Hull Breacher is on my radar. And is now getting dazed. Yeah, I think we just elk the food attack, hold up Daze and Stifle instead of playing the Astrolabe. We also can Stifle our own Dreadnought, but I think it's a bit better to play Oko, because Oko is busted. They can now resolve a Hull Breacher through Daze. If they have a Hull Breacher, they'll cast it now, and we get to elk it. At least. Well, if they, I thought they would elk it. Maybe I should have said. Let's go ahead and attack for 5. So 1/4, 3/2, and then just put a 12/12 into play. I mean, they showed a Supreme Verdict. Maybe that's overcommitting. Seems fine. And then we just won't turn the Astrolabe into an elk. We'll just make another food. No end of turn Hull Breacher. So they are likely a Hull Breacher. They're Hull Breacher, Daze Undoing. Maybe they play Narset. Maybe they don't. Jeskai control deck. Man, I feel like Daze Undoing is so bad on these control decks. I mean, obviously it's good if you have exactly a Hull Breacher. I don't know. Just like 3 mana sorcery cards that require another 3-drop to be in play in a control deck just seems so loose to me. But again, just a boomer here. Don't listen to me. I'll bring in the Dismember. We're on the draw, so I want to trim on some number of days. I think I probably want the Veils too. Kind of want to play the first Daze. This looks fine to me. You did miss the Bant deck, yeah. Went 3-2, made some misplays. Deck felt pretty good though. Oh, easy keep, I guess. Easy keep, easy life. We're just gonna play Sanctuary on turn 1. Wait, my opponent chose to draw? They chose to draw? What the hell? I'm gonna draw in their Daze Undoing deck? Maybe it was a misclick. Well, I mean, I always talk about this, but everybody undervalued Oko when they saw the spoiler because nobody knew what a food token was. And so everybody was obsessed with trying to figure out what a food token was and wasn't like analyzing that if a food token was a... we didn't know that it was an artifact, but I think you could infer it from the rest of the card. But if food token was just a destructible Darksteel relic, it would still be, if it was just an artifact that did nothing, it would still be busted. And if it was an artifact that did anything, it would be extra busted. My opponent mulled to 5, so I guess with that foresight of them mulling to 5, choosing to be on the draw is good. Yeah, but that was I think the main reason why everybody undervalued Oko. At least immediately. Like nobody knew what a food token was when it got spoiled. If my opponent fetches, I think I'm just gonna brainstorm. They're on a mull to 5 and we have 4 Stifles in our deck. I think I'm still gonna brainstorm. I want to keep one of these 2 islands, and I also want to keep the Dismember because they seem to be in on Hull Breacher from what I can gather. So I'll just shuffle away the second island and pass. Don't hate that draw. We're 2-2 Stifle Knot up a game in the last match. That is really, really fun. Kind of soft to Oko. Huh. If we just play an Ice-Fang, we maybe don't have to break their Stifle or their Standstill. Yeah. I haven't played a good Standstill game in a while. Pretty bad if they have like Shark Typhoon, I guess. Yeah, we've gotten a couple Stifle not kills. We've also got a couple Swords of Plowshare Dreadnoughts. Love to draw a land. Yeah, well. I mean, if we're just going to discard constantly, maybe it's better to crack the standstill. Maybe we just discard one card. I mean, they have to break it, but if they just find a Shark Typhoon, it's so bad for us. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna discard the second Veil. One land lets us Oko with Veil up and Force, which is gonna be kind of nice. Just discard that. The card's pretty bad. I guess it's a blue card for Force. Yeah. We need to not just discard every card ever, and then like still probably have to break the standstill, which stinks. I wish I had forced it now. Didn't find a land. I'll shuffle. See if we find one off of Ice-Fang. Guess we're going to game 3. Also, how do you choose to be on the draw on your standstill deck? Yeah, maybe we're supposed to end of turn Ice-Fang. Just really hoping to draw a land. But I think we're pretty dead. And we also like still having to discard for a turn is so bad. I was obviously hoping to ponder into a land and play a 3-drop. What is their kill? We don't know yet. We've seen Hullbreacher and Daze Undoing. Also, Daze Undoing seems pretty bad in your standstill deck. I don't know. Hullbreacher is kind of cute with standstill, I guess, because you can break your own standstill and it's not that bad. Yeah, they probably have Shark Typhoons if they're playing standstill. It's pretty common. You don't really need to force this, I guess. I'm gonna force back, it's fine. Happy enough with that. Put a Brainstorm into their hand. Probably scoop with this gets Pyroblasted. They force pitching Submerge. Alright, guess we're getting Daze Undoing. Man, our draw is so bad this game. Maybe I guess I was wrong to shuffle away that land early. I thought we'd find another one though. I guess we don't scoop to Daze Undoing because we could just draw an Oko and win. Pioneer combo, Narset, Daze Undoing. Alright, going to game 3. I'm going to bring these Dazes back in. I think I still want Dismember for Hullbreacher. I think I like the Force of Wills and not the Force of Negations. Look at the Ponders. I'll keep this if this was like almost any other land. Oh, maybe we can still keep it because we have Brainstorm, actually. I know we could get Brainstorm locked, but it won't happen to me. I'm not going to get Brainstorm locked, I promise. I'll draw a land. Can't happen to me. See? Let's just play Astrolabe. I think we'll play both. Land, baby! Easy as that. We were due from last game. Pretty good. They let it go. Feels really nice. Surely they've seen Stifle before this last turn, right? Maybe shuffle away the second Oko. It's a bit greedy. Wait, are they playing Stifle too? Is everybody just playing Stifle now? I'm gonna get Island in case we pick up Mystic Sanctuary with Daze. We have 2 Astrolabes, so we're not choked on green. Cool. Cool. Although they may just have a Pyroblast, but we could maybe stifle a fetch line for a red source. Whack. Guess I'm supposed to keep Oko number 2. Daze is looking really strong. We only have 1 Sanctuary in the deck, but if we can pick it up with a Daze and get back Brainstorm, it could get us out of this. Maybe. Okay. Change of plans. So we get Daze look awful. Maybe I agree with you, Lockhart. Hull Breacher would be bad. So let's fight over this while the Hull Breacher's on the stack, because it's possible they get got by Daze. Guess not. I still don't want this Hull Breacher to resolve, so I'm going to cycle my Veil of Summer. They have a Swords to Plowshares. Now we can double Daze Hull Breacher. I think that's good. The Hull Breacher like stops this Uro trigger and is so bad for us in general. And we also get to put the Sanctuary into play with the Uro this way. Get back a Brainstorm. Kind of nice. I'd love to get to Veil of Summer or Force of Will. That would probably be how we can win this game. They're considering it. Cool. I love Legacy. This format's so fun. If their 2 cards are Narset, Daze, and Doing, good beats. We should have put Daze on top if that's the case, or Hull Breacher, Daze, Undoing. Good beats. Cryptic Command, bounce this, draw a card. We knew our top cards. There's no reason to like look for a force there. Okay, that was Simic Snowco. Thank you, Lockhart, for donating for this again. I really like this one. Yeah, I think the Dazes were bad. I agree with you. I'm kind of in for like just main decking back to like 2 back to basics and like maybe the 3rd Ponder instead of the Daze.